Hepworth on the Barry, Kaylee Lynn Stout on the tenor sax, Isabella Rice on the alto sax, and Madeline Rowden on the trombone. Alright, so a couple instrumentalists are switching. Last tune for the jazz band, and then we're going to have kind of a big transition moment here to our concert band is again, Sing, Sing, Sing. Hope you guys enjoy it. One, two, is like the backbone. Let's give it up for Evan Smith on the
Let's
drums.
go!
All right. So we're really fortunate that the county sees the importance of having a full-time band director here. So I teach all day here, and then we have somebody who teaches at both of our middle schools and still gets to come over. So the next person conducting is Mr. Schloss, who's the middle school band director, but also the assistant at the high school. And so we're really fortunate that we're able to have him over at the high school. He is working on a piece with them, and so I'm going to pass the mic to him. He's going to play his piece, and then I'll come back up at the very end.
Hi. So thank you guys for welcoming me here. The piece I'm going to be playing with the band is called An American Elegy. It's probably one of my favorite pieces for concert band, honestly. And I'm very glad that I get to play that with your students. I'm going to take a moment to read some of the program notes from the composer, just so you guys can understand some of the background of this piece. Okay, so from Frank Kelly. An American Elegy is, above all, an expression of hope. It was composed in memory of those who lost their lives at the Columbine High School on April 20th, 1999, and to honor the survivors. It's offered as a tribute to their great strength and courage in the face of a terrible tragedy. I hope the work can also serve as a reminder of how fragile and precious life is and how intimately connected we really are as human beings. He was honored by the commission and the invitation to write the piece, and rarely has a work ever revealed itself to him in its entirety. The first 8 bars of the main melody came fully formed in a dream, he says. Virtually every element of the work was discovered within a span of about 2 weeks, and the remainder of the time was spent refining and developing the orchestration. There's an alma mater. The Columbine was a new high school at the time, and it didn't actually have an alma mater yet, so he composed one for them that they still use, and then he quoted that within this piece. So please enjoy An American Elegy.
So before we play our last tune, this is always a really exciting opportunity that we get to do as teachers, is to kind of recognize the 2025 senior class. You know, and I was kind of thinking about this, and you know, we've had our band banquet, we've kind of had a lot of the last. But you know, this group of seniors, I remember, this is my 8th year of teaching, so these were students that I started at the middle school. That's kind of my last group before I came over here. And so it's really bittersweet because, just to be honest, I never thought I'd be teaching in a place for so long, right? Where you get to know the students, you get to know the families, the students become like family, the families become like family. And so these students that I'm about to read I remember their 6th grade days, and I remember their senior days, and it's just really awesome to see what these students, what their aspirations are, what their future plans are, what they hope and dream to do one day. And so when I call these students up, I know you're going to cheer for every single one. So let's do that, and then at the end, we'll cheer for all of them one final time. And so they gave me what their plans are for post-high school. So I'm reading exactly what they wrote. Okay, parents, just saying. All right. The first up, let's give a round of applause to Daniel Batchelor. So Daniel is going to enlist in the Navy in the nuclear technician field. One more time. Stay standing for me, Daniel. Stay standing. Caleb Bennett, next up. So Caleb is going to attend Tennessee Tech University and major in mathematics. Ethan Bray. So Ethan is planning on attending Pellissippi State for 2 years, earning his associate's degree, then transferring to UT to earn his bachelor's. Ethan Bray. Jacob Miranda. So Jacob's going to attend the University of Tennessee, Knoxville for computer hardware engineering. After that, he'd like to find a steady job with a company such as Oak Ridge National Labs or a large tech company. He'd also like to look into starting his own business one day. Amberly Clay. So Amberly is going to go to Pellissippi for 2 years to major in criminal justice, transfer to a federal training academy or a criminal justice training federal academy, and attend for half a year, return to college, get her bachelor's degree in criminology, go under an apprenticeship, afterwards attend a police academy to gain experience. Amberly Clay. Brian Grandmore. Brian is going to be working for TVA as a carpenter. Brian Graham. Aiden Hepworth. Aiden's going to go to the University of Tennessee at Knoxville as a mechanical engineering major with a focus in aeronautics, internship at MS Technology on the engineering design team. Aiden Hepworth. Isabella Rice. Isabella is going to attend the University of Tennessee at Knoxville to double major in music education and music composition. Isabella Rice. And the last one on my list is Sophia Tipton. Sophia is going to attend the University of Tennessee at Knoxville to double major in English literature and music education, wants to seek a job in education at the middle or high school level. Sophia. This is your 2025, class of 2025 seniors. Let's give them all a round of applause. so for our last piece, we're going to play a tune that sort of sounds familiar to where we live, okay? The song is called Blue Ridge Reel. It's the program notes in your program online kind of give you a little background. But it's gonna sound Appalachian. It's gonna sound like we're in the mountains. It's gonna definitely sound like a jig, which is kind of like a dance. So again, we hope you guys enjoy. Don't be afraid to tap the toe. Okay, you can move a little bit of the hips if you want to. No shame in the game. All right. I hope you guys enjoy. Again, thank you for coming out. A lot of thank yous to our administration. A lot of thank yous to our school board. A lot of thank yous to you, parents. Thank you for entrusting us with your students to teach them music. But again, we don't just teach them music. Again, we learn a lot from them every single day. Life skills, things that are going to hopefully they'll take from here, and when they go out in the real world, they can apply those things. Okay. Thank you for showing up. Seriously, thank you guys for being here. It means a lot to me to see the support that I know from when I used to be in marching band practice in Nashville, and my dad would pull up, or my mom would show up, and I'd see him on the hill where we practiced. It always got like a smile on my face because they get to see the hard work that we do. So sometimes you don't see what we do in the classroom, but you just see the product. But again, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for supporting your students. Thank you for supporting music education. Thank you guys for just all that you guys do. Okay, so hope you enjoy our last piece.